about podcast in Wisconsin. Hip or critical with your guides, Alexa NKE and MoKE, Shock the MoKE, MOKE, where we praise and vent on things that really, in the end, just
Just
don't
don't
matter.
matter.
How you doing, Alexa?
I'm good. Here, I gotta do my bubbles because I always forget to do the bubbles in the thing for this one. Ugh,
Going underwater.
we are going underwater. There we go.
Gunga. We're going to
All
Gunga.
right.
Isn't
So
that where
yeah,
Jar Jar Binks was? We're going to Gunga.
whatever. We're like whatever. So I don't know whether you watch racing. Do you watch racing?
I saw the fire.
Yeah, saw the fire. Okay, so for anybody who may not may be living under a rock, a lot of people watch racing for the crashes. I do not watch racing for the crashes. I watch racing for the racing. I watch it for the technical prowess, the skill, and everything else. But as you said, there was a fiery crash this weekend in Formula One. Um,
Looked horrendous. Guy walked away. That's great.
yeah, so I was watching the race probably about an hour and a half after it started airing. It wasn't quite done yet. And, so we had it on the DVR. And first lap out, there is this massive crash. Now, in Formula One, they've been doing a lot for safety. And when that crash happened, the first thing that went through my head is he's dead. He's dead or he's going to walk away like Niki Lauda and be in hospital forever recovering because of the flames. So
Jackie Stewart.
Well, Jackie Stewart didn't get in a flame like that. That was Niki Lauda. But so when you first saw it, what did you think when you first saw the crash? Not him getting out.
Yeah, the guy burned alive. Yeah, it's barbecued.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this just again, they're making these things. They're safe. There's a reason there's safety people. There you go.
yeah. So we're gonna kind of go through F1 real quick because I'm gonna expound upon my F1 knowledge. Which is pretty common knowledge because if you watch F1, they go over a lot of this technical spec with you day in and day out, with the races. So first of all racing generally has a Nomex suit and a helmet. I mean, that's basic safety equipment in any racing. Motorcycle racing, you wear a leather suit because you're more likely to skid on the pavement than you are to go up in flames. But
Right.
in most racing, you're in a Nomex suit, and depending upon the type of racing it is, they'll have specs on the Nomex and on the number of layers. Recently, F1 upped their specs and wanted the F1 suit to be able to withstand 10 seconds more of direct flame. So think about that in context of this crash if you saw it.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was enough. That 10 seconds gave him a lot of time.
10 seconds gave him, forever. And so then, you have your helmet. Well, the type of crash he was in, a helmet wouldn't have saved him because he went right through the barrier and the car broke in half. When the car broke in half, the bladder for the fuel split and ignited, which was the fiery part of the crash. Now, what saved his life? So first of all, drivers are required to be able to exit the car in full gear in about 5 seconds. And they do this, they have to be able to exit the car. They do this and they do these drills over and over and over again because they have a 4-point, they actually have a 5-point harness. They have to unbuckle their harness. They have to get rid of their drinks. They have to get rid of the communications that they're hooked up to.
Cabling.
Yeah, they have a Hans device. There's a foam pad that is part of the car that goes around them to keep their head from going side to side. So that drill alone probably saved his life going forward from there. Now, he hit the wall, and I don't know if you saw this stat, 53 Gs. Think about that.
Oh,
53 Gs. Now, when you go around the corner on a highway, freeway interchange, probably going about 1.5 Gs.
Oh, right, but when you're on that spinner thing at the fair and you're pushed up against the wall, what do you then?
Yeah, you're more than 1G, so maybe 2 or 3 or 4. You're not going to be able to withstand too much. So this was greater than what a pilot would experience, a military pilot doing like aerobatic maneuvers.
Right,
So this
right.
was a pretty vicious crash. I mean, the human body's an amazing thing, but not really meant to survive that.
No.
So the Hans device, which a lot of racers wear in a lot of different disciplines, prevents the head from moving back and forth because that's where your brain sloshes in
Right,
your head
right.
and you
It's got the
get.
thing on the sides. Yep.
Yeah, so you can't move your head back and forth. The other thing
Like
was
like the neck thing that you bring to airports.
no, well that's more like the foam that then they have this foam that comes around here. Well, that prevents the head from going this way. So now his head is in a solid position. He can move it around to, navigate the track, but for the most part, your head's pretty solid. So that prevented a traumatic head injury, along with, this was huge because it was very controversial at the time. It's called the halo device. So on the monocoque, which is the driver pod that the driver is in, there is a device that goes all the way around and then comes down in front of them. And that device is made out of titanium. When he split the barrier, if his head wouldn't have been protected by that, he would have died. But instead, the entire driver pod was intact. And even though
The cage. Right.
yeah, even though it pierced the barrier and went up in flames, he was able to get out of the car. It took him 18 seconds to exit the car, 28 seconds to completely exit the flames. And he has burns on the back of his hands. He has burns on one foot. That's it. He has no head injury, no broken bones, no nothing. He thought he broke his ankle and they thought he might have broken his ribs. Nothing.
The hell of a 30 seconds to be in, man.
Yeah, yeah. So when you compare that to Niki Lauda's crash from, I think about 3 decades ago, where he was basically kind of burned to a crisp and came back to race and win a championship, and other drivers who have died and perished, I just, and all this technology will translate down the line to our automobiles. So
Right.
while you think that racing might be a frivolous sport, that technology trickles down, which is why I enjoy watching it. But
Sure.
I
But
thought
for
he was dead.
our drone air vehicles, they're going to need to be strong when they crash and everything. That's now because we're going to quit making cars. It's drone time, baby. We're doing that.
Well, self-driving cars are another. We'll talk about that on another podcast
They
another
don't
day.
need to be as safe if they're self-driving because no one's going to be out there bumping into them because they all know where they are. I'm all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I said, that'll be another podcast. Anyway, so yeah, I see you got Thanksgiving down here. So what'd you
Did
do
I
for
put that
Thanksgiving?
down or did you put that
Oh,
down?
I probably did.
Yeah.
So
Because
what'd
I
you do
didn't
for
cook for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
No, well, Christy and I just had some Cornish hens. That was our turkey dinner.
Oh, that's nice. I used to really enjoy making Cornish hens. That was kind of like a favorite. We did wild rice soup. I made some homemade focaccia, which wasn't super successful, but we turned it into pizza the next day, so it was fine.
Hey, there you go.
So it was okay. And what was really great was that a lot of people I talked to stayed home and just did, their thing. So same thing
Yeah,
with
I hope to
you.
hear that. I hope to hear that. Yeah, and but I mean, I went to deer hunting. That was my thing, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later.
Okay.
Bring that back up here.
Yeah, because we talked about it
So,
last week. Ah, okay. Supernatural. What do you got on that?
um, rest in peace. Before we head into another rest in peace, this show, it's been out there for how many years? I mean, my gosh, I forgot it was back on, and then I picked it up a couple years ago again. Well, I was like, Supernatural still on? Is this a new episode? My God, it's a new episode. You know, it's like been 15 or 17 years or something
See,
like
I
that.
never watched that one, so that's one that you were
Oh,
watching. Yeah.
yeah, so it was great to know. They said that it was going to be the final and everything, and they wrapped up stuff, and it was a good enough wrap up to me. Everybody always bags on final shows and how they wrapped up and everything like that, and I enjoyed it. I think they wrapped it up well. But if you're looking for a series,
Satisfying.
yes, if you're looking for a series to watch, it's a fun enough series, and you've got 15 years of it, which brings me into God damn it, Utopia. Prime catches me with this show. I'm gonna have to go. It was stolen again, like Shameless from a British version. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the British version now. But had Cusack in it. It had Rainn Wilson in it. It wasn't that bad of a show. But again, this is that. Remember, I told you I shouldn't watch anything that doesn't have 3 freaking seasons to it.
I know, I know.
Oh, so here you got me. They got me with one already, And then I just ended Santa Clara Diet. They had 3 seasons of that, and I'm like, wow, this is just great. Why did they quit this? And then I looked up, and it was just one of those things where it all got enough compliments. I mean, it was a high on Rotten Tomatoes, critically acclaimed, but what they were spending and what they're getting, Netflix just said, it doesn't balance out enough for us. Yeah, it's great to have critically acclaimed and stuff that people, group loves and we do a good job, but it ain't paying the bills. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, remember Netflix had all those Marvel shows? Luke Cage went away, Iron Fist went away, Jessica Jones went away, the Daredevil one.
I think some of the rights reverted back to Disney.
No, revert back means go forward. I mean, they either went back or reverted. Remember, that's my thing. Revert back. It's a double negative.
It is a double negative. Okay, so they reverted to Disney.
Yes, they stole them back. Well, they didn't do their options. Also, they were trying to trim stuff,
Yeah. Well, this is going to be the streaming universe. And I mean, it's kind of like, network TV would be like, oh, you're going to have 1 season of this and then they're going to cancel it for some reason. So I guess it's kind of the same thing, but
it is. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But they also talked about the final season of Expanse. They said all of a sudden there was a little thing in there. News of the cancellation comes days after the, okay of a 6th and final season for Expanse. And what is 4 out right now? So they got 5 and 6. We got 2 seasons left.
5 is going to be this one coming up this month, and then they're going to do a 6. And talking to people online about the books, because I have not read the books. One of the things I haven't read, I should.
No, not until you're done with the series.
They said that it actually wraps up at a good spot because then the books go on to some other stuff, so that the way they're going to wrap it up is going to be a good point. Yeah, it'll be a good point in the story.
I think that's a good run. If once you get to between 4 and 6 years on a show, I think you're good. I think, a 5-year run, that keeps it. After that, man, things just seem to get stale. There's not much that can keep on after 5 years.
Well, like I said with Killjoys, and I've said this before, my husband and I talk about it, they went off the rails. It's like they didn't have it, like their ducks in a row, and they went off the rails with some of this stuff. And it's like I became disinterested in seeing the last season, and we haven't wasted our time on it. So.
Sometimes they take something that should have just been, 1 or 2 shows and, made 3 or 4 seasons out, and they had to just throw in all these other stories that have nothing else to do to pad it,
Well, and series can lose their way too when they changed writers who all of a sudden have these other ideas, but then you still have to tie the other things from the universe together.
The old guy,
and then it doesn't work. I mean, look at what happened with Star Wars.
The only show that continues to be able to do that.
But look what happened with Star Wars. The kind of same thing. And in the Star Wars vein, we have news on
David Prowse. Who lesser known people go, ooh, but yeah, he was the man inside Darth Vader, so he was the hulking body. He made the menace. He made the costume menacing. The voice certainly helps, having James Earl Jones' voice, but he certainly made the hulking a frame, and everything, and that's why I've got my little tribute here. Picked that up at Aldi's for $15. Had to snap it up.
That's awesome. Well, and a little known fun fact is that James Earl Jones did not take film credit in the credits of Star Wars. He does not appear because he wanted David Prowse to appear in the credits as he did the acting, and James Earl Jones just did the voiceover.
Oh, just another reason to love that man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm drinking water, boys and girls.
So, hey, I had to ask you, because I still haven't got a chance to see the Mandalorian yet. Did you see the jeans guy in the scene?
I didn't.
It
may have been like the last episode. We're going to watch them 3 episodes at a time because they were so kind of boring. It's like...
You gotta zip through a couple. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got.
I want it to get moving. Like I said, my coworker is loving it, so good for her, and there are people who are gonna love it no matter what. So that's
Right.
great.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you know what I mean by the jeans guy?
I'm assuming it's somebody who is out of costume in a scene.
You know how the coffee cup in Game of Thrones it became its own
Yeah, that's what
identity,
I
right?
figured when I saw
So
that on
yeah, there's a
there.
guy
Yep.
during some shootout, and you can just see over in the corner there was a guy in jeans and a t-shirt, and they kind of laughed because I forgot the other show. There was something else where he showed up and they got a guy running with a t-shirt and white shirt on and jeans. They go, I wonder if it's the same guy. Keeps popping in, and they actually Ryan Reynolds in one of his Deadpools actually is out on the street having someone film him, doing as a Deadpool scene is going on behind him. And if you watch the actual Deadpool movie, you can see his back in the corner filming that his little thing. So yeah, so it's kind of fun when they do little things like that
Yeah,
to
little
watch.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, I love to
Yep.
watch those things.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know. All
So,
right, get your bubbles out.
all right, we got the bubbles. Come on. There's the bubbles. All right, Dave. What you got? I saw this about the monolith.
Right. Well, the meteor part was real quick. He said some guy had found a big chunk of one of them that came off in Indonesia, and I don't know. Have you ever seen Uncut Gems yet?
I have not, and supposedly the performances are
Yes,
amazing.
yeah, they do a great job. It's a great. It's a.
And I'm not like the early Adam Sandler movies. I'm a fan of, but I was interested in seeing that because I wanted to see him do a serious role. So
Yeah. Different direction for him, and he does a great job. I'm not gonna. It's just a depressing film, like anything. It just is, all the way around. It's a Willy Loman of today, if you ask me.
ah,
All right. But so anyway, so that would make my thing to tell you that now I can't tell you the thing about the cut gems. It doesn't work now. But anyway, so someone sees a piece of meteor, that's like 7 grams, and someone's selling it for $1,000, right? So then a guy has a chunk that's this big that fell through his roof, and people are like, "It's a $2 million piece." And they're like, no. Some guy came up, no. We gave the guy a
it
lot of
doesn't
money.
work that way.
Yeah, no, it's not, yeah. Believe me, the guy got a lot of money, but it wasn't $2 million. And I just thought that was kind of funny. And then as the monolith thing came out, yes, and the Utah desert guys are flying over the Utah desert trying to count sheep. I think they're checking on the sheep herd, and the guy says, "Whoa, what's that?" He go spin around. They're looking, and there's an art installation there.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
actually read about this on Reddit, and it was like they had pictures of it. So then people started, once they posted the coordinates, people started going there and taking pictures with it.
well, nobody. They tried not to. The Park Service tried not to tell them where they were, but people went and snuck a look, and did the other ways they know. They sleuthed it out, and then got there,
Yep.
got a couple pictures on their own, and then the next time they went by, it's gone now.
Yeah, they removed it. The Park Service
No,
removed it actually.
not that I have read. The Park Service said we don't know what happened. They did.
Oh,
That wasn't
interesting.
them.
I heard the Park Service removed it.
No,
So
no, 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 no. Unless that was because the article has the Park Service like, no, we didn't. We didn't remove it. We were trying not to tell anybody. They were going to leave it there. They actually were just going to leave it. There was another one that popped up. They had said some time ago, and then it disappeared after a while. But they said that thing could have been there for years. They don't know how long it's actually been there.
oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. So just another fun thing out there, but I like it when artists do something like that. It's vandalism. It's in your park. You're digging up. You're putting
It's.
something.
I don't think it's really vandalism because it isn't the same as
It is
like
not.
tearing
It's not
apart
the
a.
same. It's not the same. But you're affixing something to a park, and you can't do that. Whether it's the ground, a rock, a tree.
Was it affixed or was it freestanding? Because if it was heavy enough, it could have been freestanding.
Man, I gotta believe you gotta put it in the ground, man. To level that thing off. I don't know,
Yeah,
unless it was out of maybe paper mache or something, but
yeah, it's
it
hard to
looks pretty
say.
heavy duty to me.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, we all want a free internet. Net neutrality, which our lovely FCC chairman has been trying to dismantle the net neutrality for the last 4 years. Ajit Pai, who is Verizon's lapdog,
Chill.
will have his leash cut from the federal government on the 20th of January 2021, and we may be getting net neutrality rules in place, which would be awesome because a lot of people don't understand that without net neutrality, they can do things like throttle your internet and
You
limit things,
bet.
data caps and things. So,
And look at we just found out during this pandemic how much water can come out of that freaking hose. So all they're talking about, oh, we only have this much to gigs to give you, or after this certain amount you can stop. No, all of a sudden this country went into 5 times the use and there was no crisis. It's not like, well, we can't get you anymore. No, the spigot is just running all the time.
well, and the other thing is I think we need to have some more regulations in place regarding the fact that the internet's more of a utility now. I mean, when we first had the internet, it was fun. Oh, let's be on the internet and play on the internet. But internet has become such an important part of commerce, school. It's like a telephone. People use their internet, for texting and video conferencing. You can do that on a
Dead spots.
computer.
I have some dead spots at work when I'm downstairs or something and I can't get it. And I'm like, what the heck? You're just like, where's my internet?
Yeah, and that's due to probably you're in a Faraday cage is what they call it. You're in an area where you're not going to be able to get internet. But internet should be a utility, and especially in rural areas like my buddy who's in Kentucky, Barnacle Bill. For the longest time, he had the crappiest internet on the face of the planet. I think he finally got hooked up. I mean, he was using satellite because he couldn't get an internet connection. Now he's finally on internet. I can send him big pictures because he used to be, oh, don't send me pictures because I can't even look at them. That was like 5 or 6 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago. So, I mean, think about that. Now you have people.
Dial up. I would love dial up.
Oh, my God. Well, it was almost as bad as dial up. But, I mean, you think about it, now with the pandemic, I think it's become really, obvious that rural communities need high-speed internet, which is just defined by 25 megabits per second, which is it's not anything. I mean, that's basically nothing. So, we'll see what happens. So, did you sell your car?
Yes, I did. Quick thing though, just to remind me, remember how I told you every time I went to unsubscribe, it's like I felt I was subscribing back to 2 more.
Yeah.
Trying to cancel Amazon Prime. I got on it because it was a free thing for a month, and I was sending a bunch of packages. It would save me like $60 or something like that. And
Okay.
All right, let's do free for 30 days. Just remember to take it off, right? So I tried to take it off. It was just like, before we let you cancel, do you want to keep the benefits for 1 more month and let us remind you later? Like, no, continue with the. All right. Well, what if we remind you about the benefits later? No, didn't it? No, I can't keep canceling. I said, well, how about later you cancel and we'll tell you about the. No, cancel. Oh my gosh, it was a 4 bypasses that had to get me. Must be because if you go to sales, they say, everybody says no 3 times before they say yes. So you gotta hit them with. Well, I gotta get to the 4th no.
Oh my God, that's
right.
crazy.
So speaking of that, we'll go on to my car. Yeah, because now we're talking about some scams. Of course, one of the things that I got on my car once was somebody who said, "Oh, does it have this and this?" Yeah, it does. I responded. I said, "Great. I'm going to send a cashier's check. I'll have my guy," and then it stopped, pick it up, and then it stopped. Like maybe it didn't type or didn't go through, and I was like, "Oh boy, this is one of those things where you're going to get the check. It'll be for more than you asked for. You know what I mean?" And then they say, "Oh, just send me the extra." You know what I mean?
The old send me the extra scam while you're on the hook for
check bounces,
a bad check.
Right.
Yeah,
the check bounces, and then nobody comes to get your car, and you're out another $500. And so the guy, I wanted to play with him so bad, but he didn't finish the response, of what to do. I was going to say, oh, okay, that sounds great. I was going to try to see how far I can get with this guy. So, but he didn't. A week later, I got like the same text with like this, or email with the same thing almost, except for one name change on it. And he goes, hey, is your car still available? And I'm like, are you the guy that wanted to pay with the cashier check? And then never heard from him again.
I think you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, well, I wanted to play with the guy for a little bit. Here's one that I got out of my local paper. This is the Berlin Journal, which, oh my gosh, it's the best paper to read there ever was. Small town paper, you know what I mean? Their police blotter does a great job at writing down what was said in the situation. So rather than just, blah, 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 found drunk, given citation. No, we get everything. Now, this one was a great one. A caller reported they received a text message from Amazon. They returned a call to the number provided and learned their account was compromised and had been blocked. The caller was directed to verify their identity and then instructed to buy eBay gift cards. Approximately $800 of cards were purchased and the card numbers were provided to get the account unblocked. The caller later realized they had been scammed. All right. So
later they realized they had been scammed.
Now, folks,
how old was this person though?
I'm just trying to, folks, I'm just trying to help you out here. If you're trying to unblock your Amazon account, they probably don't want you using eBay cards.
Well, and the thing is with these scams, people have to be really, really, even if you get an email that says reset your password, great, reset your password. What you do is you go to the site through
you normally go to, yeah,
through the internet or through their, verified app, not through the email link that they send you, because then they're going to fish for that's called phishing. They're going to fish for your password. They're going to use it, especially if you're stupid enough to use your same password for your bank account, your Amazon account, and your Facebook. So
and then I got one of those texts, which is a big what they're doing, the UPS parcel scam. Hey, we got a package here for you. Please, confirm. Hit the link. And I was like, no, I don't have. You don't have a package of mine. No. I would be getting tracking information if it was.
Yeah.
If you had a package of mine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I order a lot of packages, and what I'll do is I'll go, especially if I'm ordering from a vendor I'm not, used to using regularly. I go right to their website, I put in my order number, and I track it from there.
No, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, did you see the some holiday drone show? Is that what you saw?
Did you see the drone show? Because I saw the drone show.
I saw a drone show. I don't know. It was like Santa, and it was like in the sky, and I swear it almost looked like a evil, satanic, like Santa's coming to get you.
Yeah, it was stupid.
What I mean? Some God figure that came out of the sky or something.
So I ended up going down a rabbit hole. So Milwaukee had a drone show, and I had heard about it on Reddit because, of course, Reddit is my news source for local stuff. Sometimes, somebody had said they had seen somebody setting up a drone show and filming a drone show before, they had it like on TV, and I guess Channel 12 had it on, and it wasn't very long. I watched the full one where they kind of did the transitions, and then they'd go do the real cool thing is they did like a almost like a pinwheel thing, and it turned, and it like did this cool thing, but then they did a bunch of geometric what would you say, whatever, they positioned the drones to make like 3D geometric
type,
and then they finally finished up with doing like the Calatrava and the Hone Bridge and a couple of other things, and it was like, okay, that was kind of cute. Let's go down the rabbit hole and just type in drone shows. You should see the ones from China. They were setting records. This drone show must have had a few hundred drones. The ones from China, several thousand drones. Amazing.
I know. Maybe that's what I saw, man. It was just a beautiful, it was like synchronized swimming in the sky. You know what I mean? Where where people like swim and all of a sudden they all, oh, it's a shape.
Well, it was like CGI rendering in the sky. I mean, it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
was. It was like, they were doing CGI rendering in the sky. And I don't know how they did it, and I'd love to read up on the technology,
But
whether they have a
gosh, that big
computer.
Santa looked like more like Oz than it did anything to me. If I were
Yeah.
looking up at that thing, you know.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. But I would suggest you watch the Milwaukee one just to see, a little taste of what a drone show is, and then search drone shows for some big ones, because there's a few from Europe and stuff that are pretty cool. Most of the videos are only a few minutes long because they edit them to cut out the transitions, but they're pretty amazing.
Just show you the product, not the lining up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Bubbles. We got bubbles. So, Dave, is this critical? So, we have vaccines on the horizon.
Is it hip or critical? That's hip. We have a vaccine on the
We
horizon.
have
That's hip.
vaccines on the horizon. Yep. I'm doing all sorts of stuff
You
today.
okay? You all right there?
I'm all right there. There's actually a blanket behind me and it fell down, so I picked it up.
Oh,
So.
okay, Grandma. Get your shawl on.
I'll get the shawl out. Oh, and you guys would like it because it has big round puffy balls on it.
Oh my gosh! I hope it's still colored like pinwheel.
Oh,
Colored.
wait. I'll pull it out here.
It's got to look.
Wait. See?
Oh, that's more like a Jewish blanket that you took through the desert on.
Yeah,
You know?
but see, it's got the big round poofy balls
Oh,
on
there
it.
you go. Dingle balls. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not critical, but vaccines maybe.
Good. Mom had a big thing on. She didn't want to take the one that you had to keep the real low temperature because she thought that was one more step that could go wrong in it all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't argue with that, Ma. You know.
No, I mean there's a few different ones on the horizon. Some are better than others as far as like you said, the storage temperatures are differing. Some have better efficacy than others, but this is positive. I mean, I'm not going to take the first round of vaccines, maybe not even the second, but I'm definitely going to put that on my list of things to do for 2021.
Oh yeah, I told Mom and Dad I'm not coming to see him until until I've had a vaccine. I
Yeah.
said I'm not going to come in, and there's 3 out there right now that people have hit so far. Pfizer,
Pfizer, Oxford, and Moderna. Moderna
Moderna,
or Modena?
yeah, and
Yeah.
right, and one just said they were at 100%. They're calling it
I
100%.
don't believe
I'm like,
that.
what?
Anything over 90 is going to be good.
Well, right. When they said 97 but whatever, I was like, well, there we go. That's it. That's all you need. All right, which brings me to false positive.
Yeah. Did you
All right.
test?
This is no, what I mean is that we have a positive feeling from things we do, and it's a false positive. That is not, it's a positive we shouldn't have because it's not true. And then the reason I say that is I tried to be careful for deer hunting. You know what I mean? I didn't try to do anything the week before. I took a test on Friday before I headed up to deer hunting, a rapid test through University of Milwaukee. Got the test results in 20 minutes. It wasn't even a half hour.
Was it a blow?
No, you self-administer up your own nose and then give it back to them.
Okay.
So, and I actually met my daughter there. Her roommate was feeling ill so they were in retesting. And I'll tell you, I keep laughing. If my daughter hasn't gotten this, I don't know who's supposed to get it. She's in that age group. She's out and about. People around her have had it. I want some of her blood, whatever it is. So anyway, I take my test. I'm good. I'm negative. So I head up to deer hunting. And we go deer hunting and everything. Now, Mom and Dad, they're safe. They're sheltered up there in Berlin. I'm coming up. I'm good. I know I'm not good on the way. The other guy, he shelters up north, doesn't go out, tries not to do anything. So I figure we got our own bubble going, right?
You would think. Yeah.
I would think. 4 people. We don't even have some other people coming around, just for this fact alone. Not even meeting the other group of hunters. We're not even going to go by them, which we do every year. Well, so Sunday I get a note from there's four of us, dad, mom, me, and one other guy. And I get a Sundays, yeah, I wasn't feeling good on Monday night, and got a test done and I was positive. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know, now it's Sunday too. It's Sunday.
Great.
This is a week. It's 7 days. So I'm already into my 7 day, hunker down. Because again, here's how it goes. So if he got your symptoms appear 48 to 72 hours prior to that, you're contagious of when your symptoms first appear. So that puts him at Friday night when we were eating and Saturday night when we were playing cards, touching the same cards, rolling around
Lovely.
you know. So I'm like, God darn it, So that puts us right in that time when he started to be contagious, 48 to 72 hours prior to getting symptoms. And so now I already am 7 days in, and you're only supposed to go to 10 or whatever now, and no nothing. So I stayed home yesterday and went in today because this is like day 9, so tomorrow's 10, and I was in a unit by myself, so nobody around me, just to be sure, but no symptoms from me. But again, that's how easy this guy does it. This guy wouldn't have come up north if he had any kind of feeling he did. He didn't want to do this to my parents. My parent, you know what I mean? They're frail. He feels so bad about this. He doesn't know where he got it,
Well,
But
and
here's
that's the thing. You have to assume everybody around you has it. If you do that, you're unlikely to get it. And
well, right. But I wasn't going to wear masks sitting around the table in the house. I mean, I was trying not to do that because I took the test, because I know the people that were around. I felt like, again, I could trust the people around me,
the thing is they say you should, no matter what, you should wear the mask and distance. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, it doesn't matter if you trust the people. It doesn't matter if you know them well. If you don't live under the same roof, mask, distance, period. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the bullet I dodged, man. That's the closest I've come,
Well,
to.
hopefully your parents are okay.
Well, I talked to them yesterday. I haven't heard from them anything today. But my mom was having surgery done. She's been waiting 3 months to have surgery open up so she can do carpal tunnel. And now here she goes. He goes, have you been around anybody with COVID? Yes. Now
Well,
she's gonna get kicked out.
Well, and not only that, a lot of these hospitals are not doing elective surgeries because they're so overwhelmed and
Right, that's
understaffed.
why I say they took her forever to get into this. Now it's like
Yeah,
So
that's why you can't take a chance. And even my neighbor across the street, she's a nurse, and they're offering, get this, on top of their regular pay and their overtime pay, if they want to work extra hours, they get a bonus of $32.50 an hour. That's how
bonus
understaffed they
on
are.
top on
They are,
top.
yeah. But I mean, she's burnt.
Oh
She's been
yeah,
doing this since March.
yeah. She'd rather try to get and spend some of that money she made. Take some
Well,
time
yeah.
off.
I mean, she's got student loans to pay off though because it wasn't cheap to get her degree for nursing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there's that too. So yeah, but
So that's what I mean by false positive. We think we have this positive feeling that we're doing the right thing, but it's really a false positive.
it is a false positive, and I agree. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you just do this or why don't you just do that? In fact, one of the people at work was asking me if they should do a social activity, and I said no. It's like, don't. It's like, I mean, it's up to them. They're adults. They can do what they want, but it's like, in my mind, it's like it's not worth the risk, especially if you have people around you who are at risk. So, all that good stuff. So let's move on to little sillier stuff, which is still critical, but not as critical. Did you notice that all of Google's icons, they changed all their icons. They all look alike now.
No.
You didn't. Okay, cuz like all their icons had a little bit of like a little difference. Now everything is the same Google colors and they're just different shapes. So it's like if you don't have your glasses on, you might
Oh,
like
you mean the
go,
little drive things and all that? Oh,
yeah, yeah. So
photos and all that. Oh, yeah, that's
yeah, they
right.
all
They,
look
they
alike
all
now.
switched from being red to this color scheme. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Huh.
like it's stupid. It's like it may not seem like it's critical, but it's kind of like you know.
Well, come on, you
Um
gotta keep everything the same, right? You can't be, continuity.
I think it's beyond continuity at this point.
The
And the
brand.
problem is the Google universe is like becoming more and more, I don't know what you would call it. Uh I don't know,
Encompassing.
invasive and whatnot. And so it's kind of like I don't want to accidentally click on Google Pay when I want to look at a picture. You know, it's just
Uh,
whatever. I just punched my microphone now too. I'm doing good.
it's good. Yeah. You need we'll need some time off after this one, right?
We are going to take some time off as you speak about that because I'm actually busy at work and I'm just like, I'm beat.
All right, shadow candidates. I want to get in this a little bit here. We're
Okay,
running
go
late.
for it.
We're running late. All right. We're always running
Oh, we're
late.
only at 41 minutes. We got plenty of time.
All right. Did you catch this shadow candidate thing down in Florida? Did you
I
know?
did not. I did
Okay.
not.
So there was contest down there, Republican, Democrat, whatever. The Democrat lost by 33 votes. All right. They did the recount, whatever, after a million votes or 1,400. Then it got down to 33 votes. All right.
Yeah.
That's close. Now, there was also on the docket a candidate, a Democratic candidate that had a similar name to the Democrat that was trying to win the seat. And the guy whose name it was, I don't even know if he knew he was running. He didn't even know. Now, I don't know how deep the shadow stuff goes, but a Republican PAC showed up. Two different Republican PACs showed up with $250,000 each. They both poured it into something that made Democratic flyers for the other Democrat, the guy who never campaign, doesn't even never did went out in
Nice.
public,
That's
just
just lovely.
sitting at home with his hand in his pants like Ted Bundy. Now I don't know, not Ted Bundy, well, the Bundy from Married with Children. And but what I'm thinking, but it's like, first of all, the guy, did he have to at least go down and file the papers, or did the Republicans do that for him too? Did they find, or is this guy one of those guys who was disgruntled one day saying, "I'm going to run for office," goes down, signs his name on some paperwork and throws it in, and now he's actually on the docket somewhere that the Republicans that look like, hey, let's
I
throw
thought not only did you have to file, but you had to have a number of signatures. I mean, law might be different down in Florida, but I thought that was the thing. You had to have enough
Well,
signatures.
what about write-in guys? I mean, write-in guys don't go around getting
No, but
signatures,
that's
right?
different. That's not somebody who's declared a candidacy because there's laws around people who declare candidacy.
Well, and this is my point, because that's why they have not dived into this thing yet. So anyway, this guy does it. I don't need. Maybe he knows he's a candidate. Maybe he doesn't know. But the Republican PACs that were created for him propped up, sent out flyers and stuff like that. Vote for me, and had all like these good, things to go by. He garnered 6,000 votes in that election. Six
That's
thousand.
really
Somebody lost.
underhanded. And
uh,
and actually they should probably be like investigated for fraud.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. It's like they're trying to shake this thing out, but it's like it was two PACs, that all of a sudden showed up and threw a $500,000 at some candidate that didn't even know he was in on the thing, and took 6,000 votes from the other Democrat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something that's going to have to go to court. I mean, that is shenanigans.
that is shenanigans.
Of course,
And,
David Clark did the same thing because he ran as a Democrat, and of course, he's a staunch Trumper.
yeah,
I mean, he wasn't a Trumper back then, but man, he turned into one real quick. But he was a Republican running as a Democrat, which I think should be disallowed. How's that?
yeah, you just can't vote for him. Like, why would we vote for a guy that does that? And that's just
Well,
it.
because you didn't know at the time, and when he was running, he just decided to do that. But he was taking money under the table from one party to run as another. That should never happen.
EOS.
Yeah. So we got more bubbles. All right, Dave, you're gonna have a moment.
This is one of my just from my old days. Again, my hometown, they have a news thing going on right now where vandals hit mailboxes, kids. And
that's an old thing in Wisconsin, probably all around the country. Where
oh my gosh, yeah. When we were kids, it was throwing Shorty Millers, the grenades we call them, those little 7-ounce Shorty Millers.
Okay.
We call them grenades. You drink them and then you throw them at signs and stuff as you were on the highway. That's what you did.
I never did that. Just so you know.
So we got into a mailbox phase. Had a bat and we took out some guy's mailbox, a couple of different ones one night, and then we did it again a second night, and then we went back to the same guy once, and we grabbed it, we threw it in the local town pool, his mailbox.
Are you admitting to being a vandal when you were a minor?
U.S. government, yeah. This is federal shit.
Oh my God, Dave. You're a criminal.
So it was funny seeing it in the paper the next day about how the guy was missing his mailbox, and there's a separate article in there about how mailbox is found in the pool. You know what I mean? It's like someone's at home putting these two things together, but the guy nobody else did. I don't know if they did, but the guy could just see the guy going like, "Why me? What did I do?" So anyway, two youths.
His mailbox was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, two youths, I found out, had they started a rampage one morning because the first call came in at 4:30 in the morning. Town of Seneca man reported his mailbox had been smashed without his consent.
Last time I went smashing mailboxes, I knocked on the door and asked if it was okay.
Is there a sign they put on, or is there a sticker or something that says consent to being smashed?
No. You have to knock on the door and ask.
I really no. I think they're all okay to smash unless you put a non-consent to smash sticker on it.
Oh, so they're all fair game unless it's kind of an opt-out.
Yeah, you need to opt out. That's
they didn't tick the opt-out box.
No. So they had these kids on 29 cases, and they added another 52 for a total of 81. I'm like, whoa, man. You just set the bar.
You guys were small potatoes compared to these 2020 kids.
Whoa, man.
I tell you, Boomer, you're an old man.
Jeez, if a record's got to be broken, man, I'm glad it was smashed without my consent.
Oh my God, that's actually funny.
And I think the judge kind of asked one of the kids, "Well, what'd you do? Well, how'd you like it if I went around destroying your property?" And he did one of those. I wouldn't like it either, I could just see the hands in the pocket, got your whole life.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be cool.
I don't know why. Seemed fun at the time. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we're making fun of derpy kids. Yes, we are.
That was one. Yeah, living in Berlin. All right, so the other thing I just had to rant a quick thing about because it's irking me because every 12 months it starts to irk me again, the car commercials. The woman, and the man, look what I got us. One for you, one for me.
Oh, the watch hat? The watches? Yeah.
One for us too. And he walks up. They got the same cars again this year. They already got those last year.
They did. And she stole his anyway because,
But that happened last year. She stole his truck. Wouldn't she want, does she steal the same black truck again? Come on. Give me a new truck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but did you see the house they're living in?
Yeah, right. They probably have two black trucks sitting there. Yeah.
No. They traded in the old truck for a new truck every year.
Oh, that's what they do. Marshmallow, you know who Marshmallow the DJ is?
Yeah,
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Yeah.
Yeah. He had his truck stolen. He had one of these big. It was he said decked out car truck. It had lots of extras on it. It was a $350,000 pickup truck. They had a
Yeah.
picture of it.
They
It was
pimped
like
his ride.
it was an F-850 or something like that. You know, I mean, I don't know if they make them that way. Couldn't you get a tank once you spend 350K? I mean, there's got to be a. I want that for a house. You were sitting there putting it in a depreciating car asset. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, if you can spend $350,000 on a truck, you got too much money. You
If I
got
can spend $350,000 on a vehicle, listeners, pay attention. You can start a GoFundMe if you'd like. I would like a 1961 XKE Jaguar. Obviously, definitely ragtop. Has to be a manual. I don't even know if they made them with an automatic back then, but cherry condition. $350,000 should get you a really nice one.
I'd be satisfied with an old 64, or what is it, 64 and a half Cleveland Mustang convertible back then when they had those.
That'd be pretty sweet, little pony car.
Yeah, the little pony car. That's the one I want.
Okay. I like the Euro cars.
The second car I had one is when with Jan, which I love in Toyota. I love Jan. She's been with the Toyota group for ads through kids and everything. Jan.
Yeah, she was pregnant for a while she was doing
ads.
Yeah,
she's had a couple kids. She's almost like Flo. You can't get rid of them now. But the guy trips the sign and the thing opens up and the elves are back there putting the car and she drops her wrench. It's an obvious drop. She didn't it wasn't like like that. She did I'm like, that's the best actor for a drop you could get. How many people did you shoot through this? Because that's the only thing in the scene that happens is the drop. And you should have at least done it like one of those, like you're trying to catch, not just.
You should have hired Dave.
Exactly. I'm like, who is the person that hired that person? Because I want that guy's job. Because if he thinks that was good, I got news for you.
Dave has news for you.
I'll get back. So that was my little rant and all that.
Okay, well, we're going to move on. We're going to do some bubbles because it's holiday time. Hip happening. So we have holiday happenings, but there are a few things that aren't happening.
Yeah. Discovery World and Museum, Milwaukee Art Museum, shut down. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Betty Bryn as well. That's temporary for COVID, obviously.
Temporary till January, when they probably will extend it.
Yeah, they probably will extend it.
I wouldn't extend anything until you get a vaccine out there. I mean, I wouldn't stop doing anything you have closed down until you have a vaccine now. As long as you've got it closed down, what are you doing?
It wouldn't break my heart if we had a 3 or 4 week lockdown and whatnot. I know there are people who don't like that idea, but it's like if we can stop this spiking and these deaths, and we've gone over this in the past, so I'm not going to go over it again, but it would just make me happy. So let's go on to hip happenings. Candy Cane Lane's lit up. Do you do Candy Cane Lane?
Yep, saw that. I saw that it was lit up.
Yep, yeah, Candy Cane Lane's going.
I've not been through it. No.
No, we usually go on an off time because then it's just easier.
I want snow. Seeing holiday lights in a snowless yard is depressing to me.
Oh, you should see my lights. I'll text you a picture later. Holiday Lights Festival downtown. If you just want to drive around downtown, they've got Cathedral Park lit up. Enchantment in the Park in Washington County, that's lit up. So if you live out north in Washington County, Mitchell Park Domes is having a holiday show this year. However, it's by reservation only. And then I had the Wisconsin Christmas Carnival of Lights at Jellystone out in Caledonia if you're south. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, and I think, what do they say? It's just virtual for the holiday train this year. They're not even rolling it through.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
I don't know. I thought I saw something virtual. Maybe it's just not doing any stops. I can't believe you could just roll a train by everybody, but maybe they don't want everybody standing there next to each other outside.
That could very well be. Oh, wait. Oh, he didn't make it.
Oh, light up.
There he is.
There he is.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Say hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, it's Lito.
And I'll also show off what my background today is.
Oh, hang on, hang
Whack.
on. Let me get to Dave. Dave, now you're on. Okay, go ahead.
My whack is behind Lord Vader is wacky packages, a run before they were cut into the individual pieces that go into the gum. So it's a whole sheet, and it's got even on the back's got the the picture that you can make if you have them all and everything like that. So
Oh, that's cool. You didn't show me that earlier.
they're the peel off kinds I had as a kid. I had one of these once before, but the son got to it, so I went online to find another one, and it's the same packages. So I'm thinking that someone ran into like a thousand of these in a warehouse somewhere, and they're just out there every once in a while. You can probably usually I've been finding them for about $100 from people out there. So just in case you want to have your own wacky package framed, you can go get them.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. All right, so we have our final pearls of wisdom. It didn't go. There we go. I tell you, my computer's really slow today, so I apologize to everybody because I don't know why it's slow.
Hey,
Anyway, it's because
hey,
Lito's standing on a cord. That's why.
but it's
So yeah.
challenge. Can't say slow anymore. Remember, it's
Oh,
challenge.
okay. Um, my computer is challenged. So anyway, my pearls of wisdom are: it's better to give than it is to receive, because now is the time of year where a lot of people do giving. You know, they give to charities, places like Hunger Task Force, your local food pantries, homeless shelters, places like that desperately need your help, especially during the COVID pandemic. And so I highly encourage people to give money to these places. Your money can do a little bit more than just giving items or food. So get in touch with your local pantries, church charities, whatever it is. Give. It'll make your heart feel good. So that's. Do you have any charity you're particularly fond of?
No, I try to hit the red buckets, during this time of year a little bit, And I actually for
Well,
hitting
and
my
people aren't shopping as much, so I think the red buckets are probably
right,
going to be down too.
well, hopefully they're not out shopping as much. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
it's supposed to be a cause and effect, but yeah. So just whatever you gave last year, double it.
That's if you can afford that, great, and if you can't afford that, give what you can, because
Right,
I think there's a lot of need out there, and yeah, that's pretty much that. So I gotta grab my script, and
we're
so
almost under an hour.
I
Jeez.
know we're 3 minutes under, so 2.5. All right, so we'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners: Dave's mom, my neighbor Pat, Chrissy, anyone else who stumbled across this
Marianne,
round? Who? Marianne.
Marianne.
Okay. Anybody else who's stumbled across us randomly, my coworkers, whatever. If you like what you're hearing, please tell two people so they'll tell two people. We
Two
didn't have very
people,
many.
two people,
We
four
didn't have
people.
very many viewers last time. It might just because of the time of year, but so we can become internet famous because I need that Jaguar. Um, subscribe to our YouTube
So, folks,
channel.
just put it on in the background. Just put it on, just like any TV show or morning news. Just put it on in the background and listen.
Yeah, just listen when you're doing something random at work. Who cares? And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hip.or.critical. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. uh,
Toy boy, toy boy.
exactly. Visit our Facebook page, MoKE Milwaukee, and you can tweet me here. So, you guys, right
Oh,
there.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, everybody be good. Have a really good holiday. We will be back in January.
For the new
Um,
year,
yeah, and the new year, hopefully 2021 is going to be much better.
stay in. Stay in for the new year, folks. Don't go to the Christmases. Do stuff by Zoom. Do stuff. Just tap packages through Amazon. Just send all your stuff through mail. All right.
Yeah, follow Dave's advice because he knows what he's talking about. All right, we love you, Milwaukee. Y'all stay
Hugs
safe.
and kisses.
Mwah,
X's
hugs
and
and
O's.
kisses. Be
X's and
good.
O's. X's and O's.
Yeah, what are you doing? X's and O's? Okay, everybody be good. Bye.